Hi everybody, it's Dr. Bam again. We're going to go over parts C, D, and E in the criminal history background one in this video. So for part C, you'll be required to document fieldwork hours using the hour log sheet provided in this folder. And it's actually not this video folder, but the module for fieldwork experience where you'll find that fieldwork log. And it looks like this. And it is the same for all the classes. And it's the Hill College Hill Field Experience Reflection Log. So you put your name, you put the site, the location that you're working on. The first 5 sections may be typed or handwritten. What does that mean? That means the date, time in, time out, hours, and your reflection. That can be typed or handwritten. However, your supervisor initials, this last column, must be signed in ink of some sort. So you are going to need to print this and then get them to sign it that you were there during that time period. It cannot just be typed initials. Okay, so this provides a detailed explanation of the lesson or activity. So you should not just be saying, I was in a 3rd grade classroom. Okay, where? What were you doing? What did you see? So a better reflection would be, today I visited a 3rd grade classroom. They were working with math manipulatives using base 10 blocks, trying to demonstrate how to divide out 2-digit numbers. I helped the students in this way. I worked with 2 students in the process of this activity. Great reflection, okay? Told me what you were doing, what you saw. Sometimes it can't be kept to 3 to 5 sentences, and we love to hear and see what you are doing. So if you want to attach a separate Word document and it states the date and that's where your reflections are, that is fine as well if you really want to get into what you are seeing. But we just kind of want to hear and see what you're doing in this document. So make sure that you are being reflective. So date, time in, time out, hours, reflection, 3 to 5 sentences minimum, and supervisor's initials must be signed, not typed. Also, who can be the supervisor? It doesn't matter. Anyone at the location. It can be the paraprofessional that saw you in the classroom. It can be the teacher that was in the classroom with you. It can be the administrator, the secretary at the front desk. It needs to be someone that we can contact that can say, yes, they were present on this day and they observed when we check in on what you are doing. Okay, so back to our field experience work document. You should never be left alone, unsupervised, or count an adult to child ratio unless you're an employee of the program or school where you're observing. So if you work for the institution, if you work for the school, if you're a substitute, if you're an employee, if you're the paraprofessional, if you're the teacher in an early childhood program, then you are counted in ratio because you're an employee. But if you have not signed papers and are not being paid by them, or you're not in the clock, you should not be put on. You should not be put in charge of children or be in adult child ratio. So even if you are an employee, you shouldn't be counting in a child care as in ratio if you are there just observing and not actually working or being paid. You're now in a volunteer position. So that's up to you to kind of judge that piece. But technically, if you are being counted in ratio as an employee, you should be being paid. So once again, never be unsupervised. So how do we avoid that? Blame it on me. Say, my program coordinator, Dr. Bam, said that I am not allowed to be placed in charge of a classroom of students as I'm just a student in an observation position. And so, and let that, because I've had students go in and the teacher wants to run to the bathroom or do any of this. And I say to my face-to-face classes, what happens when that teacher runs to the bathroom? It never fails. The fire alarm goes off. And now, do you know how to get them safely out of the building? Do you know their procedures? Do you know their policies? No. And so just say, if you're going to step out of the room, I have to step out of the room too. I'm not allowed to be alone in a situation. And be placed in that situation. You can contact my program director and give him my phone number and information. Okay. The last bit, this is probably going to be a little bit over 5 minutes, is the criminal background clearance piece. I'm actually going to go to the next video to make that piece because that does take a little bit longer. So I said it was going to cover C, D, and E in the criminal history, but we only went through C, D, and E. Okay. So have a, I'll see you in the next video.